Chairman of the Board of Management, Professor the Honorable Barbara Bailey, and other distinguished members of the board. Our guest speaker, Reverend Astor Carlisle. Chaplain, Reverend Stephen Mullings, and other distinguished guests. Principal, Mrs. Sharon Reed. Vice Principals, Mrs. Paulette Logan and Mrs. Alison Bowes. Members of the academic and auxiliary staff, proud family members, well-wishers, friends, and fellow graduates, good evening. I am deeply honored and thrilled to have been asked to bid farewell to our beloved school on behalf of the graduating class of 2011. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. These famous words from Shakespeare's As You Like It capture the essence of our lives here at St. Andrew. Becoming an actress requires so much more than just talent. It requires training, rehearsal, dedication, determination, and self-confidence. From the moment we audition, we begin to dream of our big break on Broadway or in Hollywood. Skills acquired, such as enunciation, projection, interpretation, and believability, all come together to develop the character. The script then comes alive, having been produced and directed after many rehearsals and quick changes with the assistance of the backstage crew. Bright lighting and costumes complete the spectacle. As the actresses become used to the rigorous rehearsal routines and the art of becoming the parts, tools honed, they prepare for showtime. Their skills and successful interaction with the audience are what make the play seem so real. We, my fellow graduates, are actresses on the stage of life who have made it successfully through to showtime. Our audition, the GSAT examination, remember that, ladies, ushered us into our new acting school. Fresh out of preparatory and primary schools, we arrived at Cecilia Avenue, eager to explore that awesome, intimidating, exciting adventure on which we were to embark in a new environment with new challenges. The very first lines we learned were from the mission statement, which we now know so well. Keeping in mind the fourfold development, physical, mental, spiritual, and social, so as to equip them with healthy bodies, well-trained minds, religious principles, and ideals to serve their country as disciplined citizens, and it goes on. But, fellow graduates, these, the physical, mental, spiritual, and social development, are the facets of our character, the legacy of the life more abundant, if you will, the themes in the plot of the story of our lives. Throughout our 5 years at St. Andrew, we worked assiduously to bring out the best of these characteristics in our portrayal, to give them the most meaningful expression in the well-rounded character we sought to define from the opening scene of our play, Act 1, Scene 1, First Form. It was the beginning of years of hard work, but we soon came to realize the rich reward of abundant joy. We also came to love the stage design, backdrop, and props provided to enhance our character. The beautiful Cecilia Park and the Emory James Museum were the most recent additions to the setting. Led by our simply splendid executive producer, Mrs. Sharon Reed, we were able to master the art of theater. Just a few short notices. Ladies and gentlemen, we just like to extend our heartiest congratulations to the graduating class of 2011 who have worked so hard with Mrs. Abigail James. Where are you, Mrs. James? We realize that you have worked diligently and you have achieved your goals, and we just like to extend our heartiest. Yes, now let us just get ourselves in a frame of mind for worship. Ladies and gentlemen, our physical development began with land training on the hockey field. Our athletic prowess was put to the test by the many warm-up drills and cross-country exercises, culminating in the finale of Sports Day. This was as much for the athletes as it was for the spectators and cheerleaders, decked out in their house colors and costumes, toting Dutch pot covers and cheering crazily. We did not even realize that in events such as these, we were being subtly taught other stage techniques, such as perseverance and teamwork. Other settings which enabled our physical development were the swimming pool and the tennis court. These ensured that wherever talent existed, it was identified and encouraged, so that every actress had her 15 minutes of fame. Of all the themes in the plot, perhaps the most challenging was that of our mental development. The directors, our teachers, were merciless in their rehearsals. Endless tests and numerous projects were the order of the day. If our dress rehearsals were good, we were tossed a rose from the audience, a certificate of excellence, an honor roll award, but certainly, at the very least, a kind word of encouragement from the directors. So, basically, ladies, the physics is not hard. It is not hard. You just have to listen to what I have to say, ladies. Understand the physics. Nobody shout out the answer now, you know. You are preventing your fellow classmates from experiencing the joy of finding the solution to the problem. Our morning devotions set the tone for each day. Thus, our spiritual development began imperceptibly, inculcating strong religious principles very early. These were ably executed by the supporting cast, the ICF, and the Spiritual Development Committee of the PTA. We learned how better to communicate with our Heavenly Father through prayer, dance, drama, and song. Finally, through participation in clubs and societies like the Key Club, the Debating Club, Literary Society, and Rangers, we developed socially and became true citizens of St. Andrew High. Many of us discovered new talents, and with executive appointments, developed leadership skills, a strong sense of citizenship and public spirit. These will help us to assume challenging roles in the future. We also engaged in community service, which taught us the importance of giving back to our community. We visited charitable organizations, read to children in children's homes, kept company with the elderly, and lent a helping hand where it was needed. Undoubtedly, we have been prepared for the real-life drama when we take our places as productive citizens in our communities, in our country, and in the world, our stage. The experiences that we have shared here at St. Andrew will forever link us in a common bond of history, just as they have for many generations of St. Andrew girls before us. What we now share with them as graduates is the prestigious legacy of the life more abundant, the holistic development of our physical, mental, spiritual, and social being. The legacy promised to every girl who enters the wings of the St. Andrew stage. It also means that we have become a part of a distinguished tradition of alumni, well known in every field of work for their commitment to excellence, their leadership, and community spirit, all qualities that we have been encouraged to develop at St. Andrew. We will be expected to live up to this tradition and, in time, give back to our communities as much as we have received here to ensure that the legacy continues. For it is in the giving, not just the receiving, that we really experience the abundant life. It is their example that we are to follow if we, as St. Andrew girls, are to make the vision ours and change the world. It now remains for me, on behalf of this graduating class, to roll the credits, to pay tribute and express our heartfelt thanks to all who have made our life at St. Andrew so meaningful. I speak of the producers, Mrs. Reed, Mrs. Bowes, and Mrs. Logan, who carefully instructed the stage managers, our prefects, to ensure that we made the most of our time on stage and performed to the best of our ability. They have worked together with the teachers, our directors. They have shown us which emotion to emphasize in every act and in every scene. They have taught us how to empathize with the character in the plot, making that character our own. Lessons that we will remember for life. They have been kind, generous, and understanding. Our appreciation is also extended to the ancillary staff for their care and to the vibrant PTA, our backstage crew, for their dedicated support and attention to the needs of the school and for helping to make our school days memorable. Ladies, or should I say members of the cast, we have auditioned. We have been trained. We have rehearsed. And now, the audience is hushed. The curtain opens. Lights, camera, action. Thank you.